What's going on, guys? Snake Eyes here, playing some more Dark Souls 2, and in this video I'm going to show you how to beat the last boss. And we're going to be doing this with the fire sword that we found earlier. If you don't know where the fire sword's at, or if you haven't picked it up, be sure to check some of my previous videos. I actually do a pretty detailed guide on exactly how to get the fire sword. But first things first, the important things to note about this boss is you might as well just two-hand the weapon that you're going to use, whether it's the fire sword or any of the weapon of your choosing. You might as well two-hand it, and the reason I say that is because you're going to have to get in pretty close quarters with this boss, and there's really no blocking any of his attacks. One good thing that you do also is do not target him. You can target him, and you can target an individual limb, but it's not recommended. With these big bosses, it's a lot easier if you have control over the camera, because if not, auto lock, if you haven't seen already, can really screw you over sometimes, really mess up your camera angles, and that alone can cause a number of deaths. But a good thing to do is to pretty much stick to attacking his right leg, but be careful, because those stomping attacks at half health can one-shot you, and those are something that you really want to avoid. But when you get pretty far from him, you might as well just space out, give him his room, because he has some pretty good range, and go back to attacking that right leg whenever you have an opportunity. And right here, he's getting caught in a loop. It's easy to get him caught in a loop, but it's also very tricky, because if you get used to that loop, he can pull out a stomp like that, and if you're not prepared for it, it's another way to die. And like I said, it's something that you kind of have to watch out for. But when you get him caught in the loop like that, when he swings his two arms around like that, all you have to do is just walk forward and away, which would be which you would be walking more back towards his way, if I'm explaining that right. And right here, when he's ripping off his arm, that's pretty much free reign on that one. You can get in about 3 or 4 solid hits before having to worry about anything. But one thing is, obviously, he rips off his arm so he can get increased range. That's when things start getting a little bit more dangerous, because as you can see, he can sweep pretty far away. Luckily, those hits do not one-shot you, so wait for him to attack, and as he's attacking, it's a good time to go ahead and drink another flask. But like I said, look at that range. That range is pretty dangerous. If you're feeling confident, you can bypass this whole thing by running straight in between his legs. And I don't show this, and I beat him like this mainly to show people the ways to do it, because running in between his legs kind of requires a little bit more know-how in fighting these big bosses, and obviously somebody who doesn't have much experience wouldn't feel comfortable running straight towards him. But as you can see right there, that's a prime example of just being able to just run in between him, because he's pretty slow, and when he does one of those lay down attacks, just go off on him. As you can see right there, he did some pretty decent damage, because it's a splash damage and it's also AoE, so be careful with that. Luckily, it's not a one-shot as well. I got up and was able to just pretty much get those last couple hits in. The reason I'm doing these boss guides is because PC isn't out yet, so pretty much people who are wanting to learn how to beat these bosses before they actually get to them, hopefully they watch these videos, find them really helpful. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and until next time, take care.